Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee on Sunday 7th of June. Coming to you from my dad's house in Kawerau, which is a bit tidier than last time. Great progress with the painting. I de-plaster dusted the majority of the house. Got the furniture back in, drapes up, just in time to bring Dad home on Friday afternoon, I think it was. He got transferred from Waikato Hospital in Hamilton to Whakatane Hospital on Thursday, and at that stage I thought he was going to be, I don't know, it changes, right? In the hospital for a little while, but then on Friday he rang and said, "You can pick me up." So I picked him up and we came home. He had a nice-ish evening, given he's still sore and, buggered. But looks like he opened the wound on his leg, possibly a little bit getting in and out of an ambulance on Thursday, but I think I don't know, between then and him coming home, maybe in and out of the car, the fact that his legs are a bit swollen and tight, and anyway, sorry, this may be a bit gross for people, but he opened the top of his leg wound from where they did the vein harvest, and he wouldn't let me look at it. Anyway, Saturday morning I had to call the ambulance. He was in a lot of pain and didn't feel well enough or able to sit in my car. He's called the ambulance and they took him in. He has got an infection, so they're doing IV antibiotics, and with the wound they're doing this really cool thing. That's quite cool. I mean, quite fascinating, really. Yeah, I get to see my dad's insides and how they're going to fix it. They put this special vacuum... words tired. They put a special vacuum dressing on it. Has this kind of bit of foam, and it suctions down with this pump, and basically it's going to do its thing, remove all the things, the moisture, I get, whatever. I'm sorry, I just thought it was going to be gross, but it's fascinating. Remove all the goobers, whatever, keep the environment in the right environment. Basically, they can't close it. It's going to have to heal up. But this kind of dressing supposedly helps it happen quickly, and in the end he should end up with a really lovely light pink scar, which he was going to have a light pink scar anyway. I don't know how long. They said this helps it do it quicker, but and I don't know how long he'll have it for, a while, I guess, a couple of weeks maybe, no idea. But it kind of comes with this little big box thing and a little handbag. It's quite funny. Dad's going to have a little handbag sort of carry around. Has a plug and then battery backup and stuff. So, quietly, the good thing is it's going to stop him doing shit, which is what he's supposed to not be doing. Like potentially when I went down to the pharmacy to get his prescriptions, left him here for an hour because I had to wait. It was a long list and I was very busy, and I came back and he'd lit the fire, so he must have kneeled down to do that. Possibly that made it worse, but anyway, him having to be sort of tethered to a power plug for a lot of the time while this thing's working, and said with your legs up, it means he's just going to have to be patient and watch Netflix and shit and just get over it. So anyway, so he can come home with a pump. They just, I guess until his infection markers come down, they've got to keep, when they can put him on oral antibiotics rather than IV, then I'll bring him home. So maybe, I haven't heard anything yet. I guess they will have done a blood test this morning. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. So yeah, poor old Dad. A good thing is his heart obs are good. He is doing better. And his biggest fear, I guess, was they were going to send him back to Waikato Hospital, which, But no, this is not a heart thing. This is a wound thing. This is a surgical/medical thing on his limb. Any old any old hospital can fix that, right? So that's a really good thing. He doesn't have to go, he can do that in Whakatane. So I'll head in after I've done that, after I've uploaded this video and hung another load of washing out, because he did sort of bleed through onto his sheets and stuff. And I think they took him at 8 a.m. yesterday, and then I followed in the car, and then one of his sisters-in-law came to visit, and then she took me for a little lunch, and then I came back and then waited until we knew what was happening, which was pretty much I left it, and then I visited my great aunt, my dad's aunt, who's 90, she's 98 and a half, and then I came home, and so I got home at 4 p.m, so no washing got hung out, nothing got done. I ate some leftovers, drank 2 glasses of wine, had 2 Panadol, because by then I had a screaming headache. Not a migraine, and I felt like I was exhausted, and I went to bed. That's where my dad is. So my life at the moment is very micro. It's dad, it's keeping my family informed, it's keeping my job, finding that balance between work and looking after dad. It's working with a painter, it's got to come back this week. It's very micro. It's focused on my family and their health and my own health, because it's hard. All this in the context of a world that is just insane, and I have thoughts, I have feelings, but I don't know, it's just a lot. I guess at the moment my focus is at a micro level on my dad's health and my family, and I just have to do that right now. That being said, my heart goes out to people who are suffering, and the world needs to change, I guess. The world being how we treat each other, how we respect each other. This is cross-stitching, although it's just the craziest time. I feel really displaced. But I did a little bit. I didn't get a lot done. And it's just how it is. My time is not all my time at the moment. So I alluded to my last video, which apologies for it being a bit random, is my June. Is it June? It's June. My June start will be Hoity Toity by Long Dog Sampler on 36 count Edinburgh Fee Joa from Country Stitch fabric. Colour scheme loosely based, semi-based on the DMC conversion. Yeah, DMC conversion of the chart. I have done a little bit, and I'm just doing a bit of frogging, because when I charted this up, this screen and this screen looked more different than they are. They're not different enough. Whatever light I was in, whatever I'd been, whatever. So I'm going to change this one. This needs to be darker. There is a store in town that has, in Whakatane, not where I'm in Kawerau, a wool store that does have DMC, and I popped in the other day and grabbed this one, because I've already changed that from what it was. It was too peachy, and because it's described as tea rose or something, apricot blush. So I went with something a bit more. Anyway, I've swapped in and grabbed that. This I'm going to go darker. So I picked 3022 here. I'm just going to go a little bit darker. I'll take this and my stitching in, because I don't want it to get lost in the black, so if the green goes too dark. So basically, I started frogging just now. Let me show you where we're at. That's what we're up to. I'm really liking it. But yeah, I've frogged this morning that C symbol here, start that bit in there. There's a and in here. So I've got to undo the same in this flower, that one there. And I mean, it's got an okay contrast here with the greyish, what I put in instead of Banker's grey. But it's these two flowers here. I'm going to take that middle bit out and go a little darker. Basically, this sort of zoop, this thing here, similar there. Oh, terrible. And a couple of little bits in here. There's 2 greens in there. So it's not a heck of a lot. I mean, Froggy's a pain in the bum. I don't really mind it. It's early enough that it's not that big a deal. Like, it's probably an hour of frogging. And it means that, you know, that colour is a lot, and later on it's going to be important for it to be a bit darker. So why not do it now before I go too much further and then regret it? So that's the only thing thus far that I want to tweak. So I'll take my bits in. It's not open today, so I'm probably going to be in Whakatane tomorrow or Tuesday. I will be working, but I have to work around that. And the thing is that basically this morning, because I kind of decided I'm going to change that green, I don't want to get too further along because it's sort of a central colour all the way through with all this, it's basically all the stems of the plants in the border. So then this morning I just stitched this. I'm really struggling, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. I miss my board, I miss my house, I miss my shower. I'm feeling a bit woe is me at the moment, but it's alright. So this morning I stitched this, and it was the first time putting in this toffee colouring, whatever colour that is, which I really like. It looks really good on the Fiji, I think. So yeah, it's very unlike me to kind of do these bitsy, not finishy, but it's a massive border, and I wanted to sort of see, you get most of the colours except, I'll talk about the blues in a minute, except for the blues. Yeah, pretty much the only colours, one green hasn't been used yet, so that's another thing I need to look at, this lighter green. It might be okay. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of see what all the colours look like because I made this up. This, and now I know, yeah, I need to change. I already changed the yellow that's in there, and change that green to make it a little bit darker. And then the blues. The blues I picked out are 2 blue. I want greyer blues, I think. So I'm just going to go in and when you look at this pot that's coming up, that outside, that dark colour is described as uniform blue. On here it looks like a greeny grey, and then that light colour in there is what I picked for that there, and that's that. It's, yeah. So I'm gonna tweak that a little. We'll see. It'll be fun. So yeah, when I go in, I'll maybe look at what's on the wall, because I don't have my stash. All I've got is what I brought with me. Anyway, I'm going to put this down. I'll frog out the rest of that colour that I'm changing probably today, and then I'm going to pick up something else, one of my other whips, so we get a bit of variety and stuff. So, but I'm really liking it. I'm kind of liking the fact that I'm tweaking it as I go. Yeah, and I'll just go in. Because those birds, it's the same blue in the birds as the pot. The outside of that pot, I think, is the same as that in the birds, and they look really green, but I don't know that I want it green. I don't really know. It doesn't matter. It'll be fine. So that's what I've done with my new start, and I also got a little bit of haul. I bought something off of I don't even remember. It's a New Zealand, one of the New Zealand Facebook pages, so it's either a Stash Unload, like an upcycle, I think New Zealand upcycle. I never drink fizzy, but Dad had this in the fridge, Pepsi Max Raspberry. It's not that great, but it was already open, and given that obviously it'd been open for like a month because he's been away a month, I thought I should just drink it because otherwise it's a waste. I don't like wasting things, so I'm drinking that. Anyway, so I found, so I'm on a couple of New Zealand cross-stitching sites. One's called New Zealand Upcycle or something, cross-stitching, and the other one is just a New Zealand cross-stitch site. It's kind of nice to build a bit of a, find local people. And somebody was selling some things, make an offer. One was this, an ink circles chart. It's not a PDF, it's got a photo and stuff, and it's a black work, and so what's it called? Blackstone Fantasy Garden? Yeah. Hard reading it, fancy writing backwards. It's kind of cool, and I've done a tiny bit of black work. I'm quite interested in doing more black work. It uses Carrier's Creation threads or something. Yeah, Carrier's Creations, which you don't get anymore. I have gone on to, there is a kind of DMZ conversion available. This is an older chart on the website, which I've gotten screenshotted. But I think I'll probably go off piste and just do my own colorway. So I'll use it has kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it has 7 colours for the black work, all kind of in dark blues and burgundies and a kind of a cherry colour. And then it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 colours for the cross stitch, 2 sort of solid for the borders, and 2 that you want some real variegation. So probably what I'll do is I'll identify, I might use one of the stitch palettes to come up with a colour scheme, find 2 complementary variegated threads. I mean, I might even go with the DMC variations, right? It sort of looks like you want real contrast, and these are the 2 variegation here. They've got quite a lot of variegation and not tonal, so like this red goes from what looks like a yellowy colour to a red, blah blah blah. So, and then from the whatever those 2, anyway, I'll make it work. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I don't have the fabric, I don't have the thread. It's quite massive. This is sort of how they put the different pages together. So it's a 9-page, I mean some are little pages, but 9-page chart. It'll be kind of cool to do. And anyway, so I made her an offer. I kind of looked at what it because you can still get it, what it retails at, and just offered her what I felt was a fair second-hand price plus shipping. And she said, yep. And then also she had some stuff that some magazines and things that were free to a good home, just pay shipping. So I said, well, I'll grab one of these as well, and then add to the shipping. And it's a French book, and it's full of red work, and it has this is where she sort of said, it's got this lovely sampler, but it has heaps of stuff. It has, I'll have a quick little flick through. So number 18, it's from October, November 2006, and it's called Défi en Ogier. I did do French, but far out. And it has some really cool stuff, and it's all in French. It has I'm guessing Tree of Hearts, Le Val de Cour. It's got that and that, the two patterns there. The charts are a little tiny, and they're all in colour. I mean, it's red, right? But so you kind of got, if you've got 3 shades of red, yeah, the chart will be a bit of a challenge to read. It's alright. It has all of these little charts. I'll flash them up quick. Tablecloth that I'm never going to make. But there are some, you could potentially use some of the motifs. Real quick flash, right? Like a butterfly or whatever. It's got a couple of, like a pattern for a pocket on an apron, strawberries, and cassie is blackcurrant, right? And it's got this little thing which is kind of cute. I love the little border around the outside, how it goes into kitchen-y stuff, and it's got these little mini clothes in apron and crap. But I like how there's like flowers and hearts and cooking. What's that, a brandy glass? I don't know. And yeah, that's kind of cute. So, who knows. You could even like add some other motifs in here if you don't want to do the little clothes on that clothesline. And there are instructions in here, but I think people could probably work it out. I can work it out. And it has stuff for like table linens and stuff. But again, the motifs could be used. That's kind of a classic sampler motif. Some kind of a cushion insert, and that on a hand cloth or something similar. But what better way to use up some of my Victoria Motto Fabulous Red collection than, I quite like this. I think it's kind of cute. It's a little bit whimsical for me, but it could be a cute little gift for somebody, like kind of Disney-ish with these little Bambi but it's cute. Amity, which means friendship, I think, and then thatch. I don't really like that one so much. It's a bit sparse and that ribbon thing's weird, but I think that's kind of cute. I'd probably want to do a little bit more in the middle. Like, I like this. I think it's a pretty sweet little border and alphabet, but this kind of a lost opportunity there to put something a little bit more substantial but easily adaptable, right? I think that's what I like about it. There's that sampler that's on the front page, which I definitely am keen to do. I think that's it. And then there's a what came next section, I think. Oh, I think it looks like you could buy kits back then too. But anyway. I thought that was pretty good for a freebie, so thank you very much. And one day in 5 years I might pass it on when I do a couple of things. I'm not going to stitch all of it, but it's nice to have it and some ideas. And yeah, so that's pretty much my little haul. I know that on the way to me at home is my Victorian Motto sampler shop, April and May fabric of the month, and 6, I don't even know what I signed up for, skeins of the month. And I'm one of the few people, for people who are familiar, there was a bit of an issue with PayPal where anyway, my order got delayed because the receipt didn't go through to the inbox. It doesn't really matter. And it's finally been shipped, so I expect hopefully I'll be home before it arrives, because it's gonna probably take 6 weeks to get there. Hopefully I'm home then. And then I've just paid for June, and then June and July will be shipped together. Other than that, I don't know that anything else is on its way to me. I've kind of I've lost track of my life, so we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping I'll get a little bit more stitching done in the evenings this afternoon, because Dad's going to be here and I won't be running around. Anyway, we'll see. I'd like to get a little bit more stitching, because it's ironic that when I need it most, when I'm really stressed, is when I've got time to do it. And yeah, so yeah, anyway, that's it. That's probably way too long. It's 27 minutes to show you one freaking whip and a thing I bought secondhand. But anyway, that's my stitching update. Plans, work through stuff that I've got brought with me, and and probably do 2 or 3 things, work on 2 or 3 whips this week, so I've got a little bit to show. And who knows, I might buy a couple of PDFs this week. I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen, if you follow Carolyn Manning Designs, that woman, she is just producing like a demon. And she just put out 2 designs this last few days. One was sunset, and then she said, yeah, sure, there will be a sunrise, and they're, you know, full coverage. Part of her, I can't remember what she calls it, shooting star quilt sort of series. The colours are just phenomenal, and I think I'll buy them. And at the moment she has a coupon, I can't remember, I'll have to find it, something 20. If you follow her on Facebook, Carolyn Manning Designs, and you will find the code. I think she's got 20% off through until further notice, until she decides the world's returned to enough normal re-COVID stuff. So they are just beautiful, and her charts are very reasonably priced, and again, just beautiful. And the PDFs, so I can have them instantly and draw over them. And who knows, I might even look at kitting them up, because I said I wasn't going to do more than one. I've already got 2 Carolyn Manning Designs on go. But I think these are beautiful. Anyway, that's enough from me. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye, edit this a tiny bit, and get that up. Here's to life returning to a little bit more normal. And as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.